Good morning, everyone. This is Rohit here again, the liberated Mid-Ager, and I'm back with another exciting travel that I made to Meghalaya. This trip was not very long, so I have not covered a lot of Meghalaya. I have covered only small parts of it. I was already making a trip to Arunachal Pradesh, so I had covered the whole of Tawang, and I am scheduled to go to Zero Music Valley, Zero Festival of Music in Arunachal Pradesh again, and I had a couple of days, so I thought, why not spend time in Shillong and see important parts of Meghalaya. So I call it as motorcycling the Meghalaya magic. Meghalaya is very, very beautiful. So I wanted to ride early in the morning in Meghalaya, and that was the main purpose. But this ride is a little different. It was also a run down the memory lane. So let me give you a background on this. My father is a retired Indian Air Force officer, and we stayed in many places across India. So he was posted in Air Force Station Shillong between 1980 and 1983. So 3 years we were there, and I think it was, he says it was the best posting we had. And I did my schooling in Kendra Vidyalaya, Upper Shillong, from class 1 to class 3. There's so many memories in Shillong that we had, from lower Shillong, you go to upper Shillong, it's a ghat section, so we used to eat jalebis there. We spend evenings in the Shillong Peak, also stroll in Cherrapunji when it's not raining. So for me, it was, I wanted to go down the memory lane after 43 years. So it's not just about seeing good places in Meghalaya, but also achieving this objective of reliving the memories that I had about 43 years back. As I said, I was already in Guwahati from my Arunachal Pradesh trip. So if you see, it's a very simple route. So from Guwahati, there is a road that comes straight down to Shillong, and then you can go further down to the areas that I wanted to see. So I covered only a small segment of Meghalaya. There is a lot of stuff that can be done on the western side. I did not, and I'm sure I'll go back again and cover that too. As we start from Guwahati, first thing that hits you is that the roads are very good. So the road from Guwahati to Shillong is a beautiful four-lane highway, and completely green, and you can start seeing the hills. So it doesn't, it's not doesn't seem that imposing, but actually it's a good climb. Now, when we used to go a long time back, I always remember it as a 3.5 hour bus ride. And this time it was a very enjoyable ride altogether. Now, once you leave the main highway, this is the road that takes you to Shillong. Now, it looks very empty. It looks very nice. But my friends were saying that in case there is a truck that breaks down here, it becomes a nightmare. Absolute. This is the only entry into Shillong that we have. And by the side of this road, there is a very beautiful lake. So you can just cross the road on the right side. There are places where you can have chai, stand there and walk around this lake. It's called the Umium Lake. It's very picturesque. Go in the evening, stand there, and you don't see the complete expanse of the lake. So as you start going towards Shillong, you go a little up, and from the top you can see the lake in its full avatar. So you can see, oh, this picture was so beautiful, and this is a point that they have made. So based on the weather conditions, you will get one of the best takes of the Umium Lake. As soon as you reach Shillong, completely different ball game altogether. Traffic jams like mad. Very narrow roads. Everything is blocked. You just can't go. I don't know how people work here. I was on the motorcycle, so I could easily cross this. But oh my God, I have never seen such a congested city. Now, through small roads, I reached my homestay. Homestay was very nice. It's called Maodong Homestay. It's run by an old lady. Very, very nice. The rooms were beautiful. So, my suggestion is don't stay in Shillong at all. There are better places in Sohra that I will show you in near Cherrapunji. That's a better place to stay. Shillong is absolutely terrible. Now, from here started my run down the memory lane. I went to the A4 station and I stood about 3 4 minutes in front of this sign. I love A4 Shillong, and I was remembering all the time that we had had. Now, what they do is that they don't allow civilians inside the campus, but you can only go to this section, which is called the Air Force Museum. It's very nice. So I had to convince the security officer that can you please allow me to go inside because of the legacy that I had. And he was gracious enough to allow inside without taking any pictures. So I could take pictures only of the museum area. The museum is very nicely made. You have all the aircrafts, a lot of information about Air Force. There is you'll get a lot of the way the Air Force is. I really found it very interesting. There's a wall where they have put all the air chief marshals who are there. Some of them I knew because they were there in the same Eastern Air Command when I was there. So it was really nice to know them. And from there, I walked out and saw this barrack. Now, this barrack is where my school was. So this was my school, and class 2 was here, and class 3 was here. It was um, such a great feeling to see this barrack. And there were no compound at that time. It was a garden. What you could do is that you could get out of this garden and walk the other side, which used to be a cinema hall. So this is a cinema hall. So now it's been made into some kind of a hall. But as the class school is to finish, I just walk down, go into the cinema hall, and the manager is to call my father and say that, hey, your son is sitting here because there's an Amitabh Bachchan movie. So I still remember watching Mr. Natwar Lal in this hall. It was really nice to see these two places. Then I started walking inside the campus and reached another memorable place, and this was our home. So 45 years back, we stayed in the same house. All the roads were same. The construction is same. I could walk just the way I walked when I was a 7-year-old. I think it was really nice to be able to do that after such a long time. I showed my this house to my parents also on video call, and they also were pretty thrilled. From there, you come out of the Air Force station, and there's a road going on the left, and it goes to Shillong Peak. So this is Shillong Peak. From Shillong Peak, you can see the whole of Shillong. Go a little further, and you get into entry into Elephant Falls. And if you see everywhere pine trees, which is a hallmark of Meghalaya, so you'll find a lot of pine trees. And you go to a place called Elephant Falls. This is a small falls, very beautiful, and they have an entry fee, so make sure that you have cash. It's a three-stage fall. So this is the first stage. The water flows down, and then they have made a bridge for people to go. And then it starts going on to the second stage. And then it goes on to the third stage. So you can walk down completely. There are beautiful paths made. There's a small pool at the end. You can get into the pool, get your feet wet. Very nice place to spend the evening. Um, I faced a problem. So in my whole trip of 7,000 kilometers, I did not face any problem. This is one problem I faced. If you see, my suspension, rear suspension, started leaking. Maybe too much of off-roading that I was doing, and I had to get it changed. And if you see, it's become very dirty. This is where I took it to the KTM, Shillong Keating Road, and they helped me change suspension. They had the spare too. So the reason I bring this up is the value that I find in known brands like KTM or Royal Enfield, because you will be able to solve problems if they happen. And this was really helpful for me. So that's the thought I have put in my other video also when I talk about motorcycling as a 50-year-old. Now, the next day, I started my journey into Meghalaya early in the morning, and this is the first scene that hits you. And there's a reason why the state is called that way, Meghalaya, which is abode in the clouds. All the clouds come down. It becomes really beautiful. Roads are pathetic, but but then after about 15 kilometers, the roads look like this, and it just you start seeing a different side of Meghalaya. Absolute greenery, beautiful roads, very well paved. You can see, blue skies. All the clouds are settled in, pine trees across the roads, and even the houses. So if you see, On the right side, you can see the houses, very well manicured lawns. They just look splendid. You just feel like stopping everywhere and start taking pictures. And that's the reason why it's called Scotland of the East. So this is Meghalaya, and this is what I wanted to experience and see. Now, as you go on this road, first thing that hits you is the view of the canyon. This is the canyon that you see, and you just can't help but stopping and uh, feasting your eyes on these canyon. It just looks gorgeous. And obviously, you have to take a video, and this video shows the complete expanse of the canyon. You can see multiple layers behind, the shadows that have come because of the early morning sun. You can see the clouds that have settled in and make the place look absolutely magical. And then there is obviously the roads, winding roads that go across this canyon. I stopped here, spent a lot of time, and also took some pictures on my bike, which was really nice. And this is the area which seemed a little different. So if you see the plains that side, that is Bangladesh. So from the top, you can see Bangladesh is the border. And very interestingly, my father texted me saying that, I did not get any pictures from you after 2:29 p.m. Did you fall into Bangladesh? So I said, yeah, I did, and they threw me right back. So from here, you get into the heart of Meghalaya, and we got into a Nogriat village, and this is where there is something that is you see only in Meghalaya, which is a living root bridge. So this is a trek that we started. It's about 3,400 steps down, very steep. So you can see very steep, very beautiful valley, very humid. So you have to have a lot of water. So you can see I took a guide and started walking down. Just wanted to show the steepness, and you can hear a sound. That sound actually is crickets. So you cross some suspension bridges. These are suspension bridges. From the suspension bridge, it's very beautiful scenery. So I had to take a video, also see how clear the water is. So right on the other side is the mountains. So the water comes from there. There are rocks everywhere, and the suspension bridge is very sturdy, very well made. It shakes, so you do feel a little scared, but it's pretty nice to walk on that. And then there are streams that go down, and these are the ones that form most of the waterfalls that you will see down. Now, this is the first glimpse that I got of the Living Root Bridge. So if you see here, this is the Living Root Bridge, and very interesting. This is made by people using the rubber plantation. So it takes about 35 to 40 years to build this bridge. So you can see the way the bridge is made, and they have planks where you can walk. So even it can take good amount of weight, and it's over a gorge. So a lot of stones, water everywhere. I walked across this bridge, and I wanted to see whether it is safe, and it was pretty safe. So, but generally they say that you should not have about more than 4 or 5 people on this bridge. Then there could be a problem, and people follow that rule. So very 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 nice view of the bridge. As you start walking, you will see many of these bridges, 3 4 bridges we saw, and and then you reach the main area. So there is a waterfall, and then there's the double decker bridge. This is the only one in the world, double decker bridge. So a lot of people, I also played in this waterfall, and there's a pool that you can get into, and you get the glimpse of the double decker bridge. So there's one bridge on the bottom, one bridge on the top, and it just looks very beautiful. People can walk on it. Also has got planks, and you go on the other side. It leads to Rainbow Falls. I did not go there because I was very tired. This is taken from the backside, and everything looks green. You can easily spend an hour. It's just that it takes about a whole day for you to do this, because going back 3,400 steps was quite grueling, quite grueling. Then I started riding back, and obviously started enjoying all the sceneries of Meghalaya. So that's the part I covered. The only recommendation I have is that don't stay in Shillong. Go from Shillong south into Meghalaya and go to an area called Sohra in Cherrapunji. That's much more beautiful place to stay. So from this, I think what I would like to say is that It just was amazing to go down the memory lane. So I would request everyone, please go to your old school, your old house, relive the moments. It really warms your heart, and you just feel it is worth it. I really enjoyed, and I took a vow that I'm going to go to all my old houses and the schools that I had. So I have something more to do and share with everyone. So thank you so much for watching my video. Please subscribe the channel and like this video, and I'll bring more interesting videos as we go along. Namaskar.